When I woke up this morning in my bad dream, my dream was like, don't buy the property. It's gonna be cold as balls here, and you don't own any property in cold areas, and this isn't gonna be a fun situation. It's also not like me to say no to something. So I really am going to this RV park to convince myself to buy the RV park. Hey guys, we're at one of the RV parks that I just bought on seller finance in Kalispell, Montana. It's right between Whitefish Resort and Glacier National Park on one of the main freeways or highways. They don't really have freeways here in Kalispell. It's just wide open spaces. We are buying two separate properties on seller finance. Purchase price $7 million for both properties, same owner. And the owner is selling on seller finance because they are tired landlords. They live in a completely different city. They don't want to be managing this, and they don't want to manage it from a distance. So they hired a real estate agent. You'll see some footage of us talking to and negotiating with the agent. We just got under contract today, so I thought I'd stop by with Eric before I head back down from Montana, back to Arizona, and show you both of these properties. Now, here's the breakdown and plan for the deal. This is one of the busiest streets in all of Kalispell, Whitefish, and Columbia Falls. It's kind of in the most unbelievable area. Meets a T where Whitefish is this way, Glacier National Park is that way, and the airport is 4 miles that way. It is the best location you could ever ask for a RV park. Now, man, I ask myself this question all the time too. Why would a seller sell to you on seller finance? We're not gonna use a bank, we're not gonna use any of our own money, and it's a property that's turnkey, already making $10,000 a month. Right now, somebody watching this, literally guys, this is how simple this can be for you, is that somebody watching this can learn creative finance, acquired two RV parks in a matter of a week. I've been in Montana for a week. I saw this property the second day I was here, and now I'm leaving on day 7. So it took us 6 days to work out, meet with the agent, get out to the property and get these under contract, and another 15 days to get them closed and actually we get the ownership of. So in 21 days, start to finish, you can own two RV parks that will make enough money that I would say 99.9% of people could have a full-time income from and quit their job. It blows my mind. At this point, it's just accumulation. It's just a game for me. But for most other people, you have to understand, like, check this out. Across the street from our second RV park, there's two of them. This is the second smaller one, is a putt-putt course. So our tenants at the RV park can come across. They've got a putt-putt course. They've got Scouts Grill. They've got a coffee spot. This is awesome. And there's even a vintage market today. All of this is across the street from our park that's called the Mountain View RV Park. What am I gonna do with it? Well, I'm partnering with one of my students, Jordan. He lives down in Missoula, and he's been working on this lead, and he brought the lead to me and says, I don't know how to fund this. I don't know if this is a good deal. And I said, well, let's submit it to my underwriter. And I submitted to Bo. Anybody that is a SubTo student has access to my underwriter 20 hours a week. Bo, my underwriter, is available, I think, either 3 or 4 days a week. 3 or 4 hours a day, 5 to 7 days a week, depending on the week. What am I gonna do with it? Well, I'm going to bring somebody else and hire somebody else to run these parks. And I'm gonna own these in our portfolio for a long time. Now I own RV parks in a beautiful area. Dude, how cool is Glacier National Park, by the way? Epic. Guys, this is what's cool. I came up to Montana to do an event. And when I'm in Montana, I'm like, let's go look at property. Let's go meet with agents. Let's go do deals. Let's go buy some assets. And that's what we did. And these assets are some stuff that we just bought. Here's what's interesting about these parks that you learn is that the people who are managing these parks are traveling managers. It's so interesting, all the things that I learned from this. So Jerry and I came out here with Jordan about 4 or 5 days ago, and the asset, there's not much to it, right? You've got a couple of buildings that are in really great shape. You've got amazing asphalt, grass, trees, and some places to park some RVs, right? So it's not a lot. The biggest asset here are the people that are managing the park. So the big park is being managed by Lauren, and then the park right here is being managed by this gentleman and his wife, and they're unbelievable people. They're so cool. They have 10 years of experience, and all they do is every 6 months they bounce to a new RV park and they go, we want to go live in Niagara Falls. We want to go live in Kalispell. We want to go live here. And so there's a website that finds these people. So they get free lodging, they get free internet, free utilities, and they get paid like $70,000 to $80,000 a year here to be on site like 80% of the time. Then what I found is that there's another set of people, usually 2 or 3 of the spots are being occupied by people who go, I don't want to work full time, but I want to live full time in the RV park, and I'll do handyman work, I'll help out pick up trash, I'll clean the bathrooms. Basically, everything in the park is being managed by anybody but the owner. The problem is the owners are not here, so they're like, I was talking to this guy, did you get me shaking his hand? So I was talking to him the other day and I said, what would you do if I just give you a duffel bag of money? What would you do to improve the park right now based on complaints the residents are telling you, based on what you would want? He goes, dude, there's no dog park here. There's a big chunk of grass you can see out there. He's like, we need a fenced in yard. I'm like, why won't they do it? And he goes, I don't know. I was gonna build one the other day and just go get the materials to build it because I'm full time here. He's like, I don't really have a lot to do. So he's like, I just went down, I was gonna go to Lowe's and spend $500 getting chain link and poles and just build it myself. And the owner didn't want to invest $500 into a dog park. And I'm like, oh, maybe you don't have a lot of people with dogs. He's like, everybody has a dog that's RVing. Everybody has a dog. And because you can't just have your dog running around and you want your dog to get exercise, everybody wants an RV or a dog park inside the RV. I go, what else? He's like, well, maybe some new washers and dryers. I'm like, the owners don't want to invest in that? He goes, no. In fact, the tenants here are frustrated with the washer and dryer, so they drive down to the laundromat and they're giving their business to the laundromat. I'm like, it's just poor decision making from a business perspective. Maybe it's just small mindset of like, no, people don't need it. Let's just keep our expenses really low. And I get that too. But my thought is, why not just be the best, right? And raise your rents $10 a night. Raise your rents $20 a night. People aren't going to notice the difference. If you have a good reputation, I also think, you know, you could get a YouTube channel about these parks and history of Glacier, history of Whitefish, history of whatever, and you release a video once a month, maybe even once a quarter, and you just have a YouTube presence, you have a way for people to see drone footage of where they're staying, and you really do a better job marketing, you could raise your rents $10-20 a night. You can see right now it's in the height of summer and they're only occupied maybe 90%. You want every spot here and a waiting list for people. So I think there's a lot of benefit to add here, but really the people who are running these parks are the people that I just shook his hand. They're traveling nomads and you hire them every 6 months, you get turnover. And I think that actually is the biggest problem with running an RV park, is that the owner is having to hire and onboard and train people from 8 hours away. And so every 6 months he has to come up here and train a new person. Well, wouldn't it be smart just to do a bunch of videos? Like spend a week out here and do videos. Here's how the propane thing works. Here, hey, this thing's kind of finicky. Make sure you do this. Tenants seem to really like to park in this area. Make sure they don't. Like, it's interesting how inefficient a business owner can be. And so what we'll do is we'll end up buying this property, making it more efficient, putting videos together. And then when we hire people, I don't have to bring somebody out here to onboard and train every 6 months, even though you're gonna have a new manager every 6 months. So here's what I think the big play is. Okay, why am I buying in Kalispell? Well, I want to spend the summers here. I don't want to be in Arizona in the summertime. We filmed season 1 and season 2 of Triple Digit Flip in the summertime in Arizona, and I wasn't allowed to leave. And all it convinced me is that I don't want to be in the summer in Arizona. So this summer we spent all of July, part of August out meandering through the Rockies and enjoying the weather. And I want to spend more time up in Kalispell, maybe a month out of the year. So why not own some real estate? And what better thing to own than an RV park on seller finance? So we bought these 2. We looked at another one. It turns out they're not going to be highly motivated for a while. And so now think about this. If I buy 2, 3, 4, 5 more of these, I can change all the brand of them to be all identical. And so when people go on one website, they can see where all of our locations are on one website, and they can book on all 5 or 6 parks in one place. So then I can hire a virtual assistant to handle the booking and messaging people online and doing all sorts of things. And I can make it really, really efficient and brand it all super cool. And then you have recognition in town, right? So it's like they call one location, a tenant calls it one location, says, do you have a spot? No, but we do have 4 other parks, and I'm looking at the site. I'm looking at our online right now. It looks like we have some open spots. Here's the link. I'll send it to you. Would you like me to book it for you? There's just so much inefficiency in RV parks because of the people that manage RV parks are very behind the times in technology. So I think that we will dominate, not on just the first 2, but I think we'll dominate as we expand through Kalispell and Whitefish and really round out that business and rebrand everything. What do you think we should brand it to?
RV there yet?
Oh my gosh, that'd be so good. RV there yet? Anyway, what we'll do on this video, guys, is we'll insert some cool little things. I'll link a video to Jerry Norton's YouTube channel. I'm sure he's gonna add some stuff. The whole appointment when we walk through with Lauren, the appointment when we walk through with these managers. And what we'll do is I'll do a whiteboard video on part 2. This video will just end up being part 1. And I'll do a part 2 video breaking down the whiteboard when we're back in Arizona after I close escrow, final numbers. I'll give you guys the settlement statement. Eric will have to remember that. And we'll follow this up with a part 2. And the cool thing is now that we own these RV parks, or soon to own these RV parks, we can give you guys a yearly update. I can give you a bi-yearly update. And every time we expand in Kalispell, if you guys are in Kalispell or you guys are looking for RV parks, you guys want to wholesale a deal to me, find an RV park in Kalispell that you can get under seller finance. I'll buy it and we can do some business together. So we came all the way up to Montana to do a fundraiser for the Spear Fund and Operation Underground Railroad. And Tim Ballard came out and spoke, Brandon Turner spoke, Henry Washington spoke, and I will give you guys a freebie of down in the description below if you guys want to hear what Tim Ballard had to say. You guys want to watch us raising money. You guys want to watch Brandon Turner. We'll give you guys those links down below so you guys can get those freebies. And what we'll do is link you over to Jerry Norton's channel in the description below. And hopefully when part 2 comes out, we can go back to this video and put a link to video number 2 in that. We'll see you guys later.